Hello learners, I Dr. Anand Vardhan, a faculty at School of Heritage Research and Management, Ambedkar University, Delhi, will discuss today the history and significance of Indian tribes, basically in context to their geographical spread. I mean to say, we will be discussing the different tribal zones of India. The objective of this particular lecture is to analyze history and geographical spread of Indian tribes. After reading this unit lecture, basically, you will be able to know about cultural spread of tribes and the different tribal cultural zones of the different nooks and corners of our country, like northern India, northeastern India, central and southwestern India. We will also be learning languages and ethnicity of a few tribes. The tribal groups are presumed to form the oldest ethnological sector of our national demography. Tribal population of India is spread all over the country. However, in Haryana, Punjab, Chandigarh, Delhi, Goa and Pondicherry, there exists very little tribal population. The rest of the states and union territory possess fairly good number of tribal population. You will find that forest and hilly areas possess greater concentration of tribal population, while in the plains their number is quite less. Madhya Pradesh registers the largest number of tribes, that is 73%, followed by Arunachal Pradesh 62%, Odisha 56%, and Maharashtra 52%, Andhra Pradesh 43%, etc. The vast variety of numbers of Indian tribes and tribal groups have always been a matter of great social and literary discourse for the past several decades. In this lecture, actually we are going to discuss in detail a few distinct and historically important tribes. Here for our purpose is to acquaint you with various tribes found in India with respect to their distinct history and the geographical spread of those communities. The tribes in India broadly belong to three stocks, namely Negritos, the Mongoloids and the Mediterraneans. The Negritos are believed to be the earliest inhabitants of Indian peninsula who were unable to defend themselves and were gradually forced to recede before the migration of Indo-Aryans to different regions. In northeast India, there is concentration of the tribal groups who are often characterized as Mongoloids. These tribes were not only superior to them in numerical strength and also in mechanical equipments. These communities took shelter in the mountains and thick forest, where a considerable number of them are still found and have been estimated to be about 10 millions. Those who were left behind in the plains gradually disappeared either by absorption or by acculturation. Some tracts of them are still found among the tribals of Andaman and Nicobar Island, whereas Onite, the Great Andamanese, the Sentinelese and the Jarvas, and also in Kerala among the Kadars, the Irlars and the Panyars. Their identifying features are dark skin, curly hair, broad nose and medium heights. Friends, these specific tribal groups of Andaman and Nicobar and the state of Kerala are often characterized as Negrito. As I have discussed earlier, the northeastern India is dominated by another cultural and ethnic group called Mongoloid. The Mongoloid race is represented by the tribal people of the larger part of sub-Himalayan region. They may be divided into two categories, namely the Paleo-Mongoloids and Tibeto-Mongoloids. The Paleo-Mongoloids are represented by the tribes living in Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland and Manipur. The Tibeto-Mongoloids are represented by tribal living in Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. There are scholars who contradict this colonial construction of the ideas related to tribals of northeastern zone. They are believed to have migrated from Tibet. They have typical eyes and facial features. They speak Mon Khmer and Tibeto-Burmese dialects. The Mediterranean people from the bulk of the tribal population are generally known as the Dravidians. Dravidian is, however, the name of the language group spoken by those people and has no ethnic significance in general. The tribes believed to be belonging to Dravidian race are found in Chota Nagpur plateau of Jharkhand, Rajmahal hill regions, a Rawali ranges of central India, Vindhyachal. They are also found in Deccan plateau and Nilgiri hills. Dravidian language still survives, and not only in southern India where people speak Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam and Kannada, but these group of languages, I mean tribal Dravidian group of languages, also survive in central India where its traces are found in various dialects spoken by Oraon, Gond, Mundas, Khond and many other communities. The Dravidians are presumed to be of two stocks: the Kolarians, who speak a dialect called Mundari, and Dravidian proper, whose languages are represented by Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam and Kannada. The Mundas, Santhals, Oraons and other tribes inhabiting Chota Nagpur plateau region are considered to be of the Kolarian stock. The Gonds, Khonds and other tribes belonging to the Dravidian stock are found in central Vindhyachal and Deccan Plateau region. We will try to understand the geographical spread of the different tribal communities. Friends, I would like to encapsulate that we have a major group of tribals often termed as Dravidian that reside in the large peninsular India. I have already discussed about the tribesmen of northeastern India who are often termed as Mongoloids. In India, there is almost a continuous belt of high tribal concentration starting from the western coast from Thane district in Maharashtra, passing through Surat and Dang district in Gujarat to Mayurbhanj in Odisha and the eastern coast of India to Bihar. The chief concentration is in Dhulia in Maharashtra, West Nimad, Betul, Chhindwara, Mandala, Sahdol and Sarguja district in Madhya Pradesh. Apart from that, Ranchi, Santhal Pargana and Singhbhum district of Jharkhand region is a major tribal zone. Another long range of tribal belt is found in northeast, as I have already said. They spread over large part of Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and the North Kachar hills of Assam region, as well as in the region of Manipur and Tripura. These belts are also linked up by a chain of pockets of tribal concentration at taluk or subdivisional levels. Tribal concentrations are also found in Bastar district of Madhya Pradesh, Korapur, and we can also find a very good number of tribal population residing in the region of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, which are linked up with the central belt by a chain of small pockets of tribal concentration sprawling over different districts of these regions. The scheduled tribes live in exclusive pockets of territory upon which they have traditional ownership rights. In fact, infringement of these traditional rights had led to many warfares in the past. In fact, it has been a matter of distinct socio-cultural identity as well. I would like to make you clear, despite the fact they have distinct cultural identity, they share many cultural traits with the common people of India. We can broadly categorize other tribes into three major zones, while the fourth subsection covers the miscellaneous tribes spread over the scattered areas. We will discuss northern and northeastern tribes first. In the mountain valleys and other areas of northeast India, tribes largely belong to Mongolian social stock. The tribal people are distributed all over sub-Himalayan region and the mountainous valley of northeast from Simla in the west to Lusai Hill in the Mismi track in the east, which merge imperceptibly with those of Burma in southeast. It covers Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Tripura, Manipur and Mizoram. Eastern Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Tarai areas of Uttar Pradesh and mountainous West Bengal is this area. These areas are also known for a good number of tribal population. Baro Kachari is numerically the strongest tribe in Assam. Then comes Miri and Mizo group of two important communities. The hill districts, that is Mikiri Hills and North Kachar Hills, are predominantly inhabited by scheduled tribes. In the plains, Goalpada, Lakhimpur, Darang and Kamrup districts possess fairly large number of scheduled tribes in Assam. In Manipur, the highest distribution of scheduled tribes is found in Manipur West district, followed by Manipur East districts. The third highest position goes to Manipur South district. North Manipur contains the lowest number of scheduled tribes population. The major tribes inhabiting the regions are Anal, Kabuyi, Gangse, Zarao, Moyan, Masang, etc. In Meghalaya, the most important tribes are the Khasis, Garos and Jayantia. Mijos, Pavisand, Lakhers are also of great importance. Nagaland, another northeastern state of India, is basically a tribal dominated state that is inhabited by a major cultural stock known as Nagas. In Himachal Pradesh, Gaddi, Kiner, Pangwal and Laholi tribes are important. Gaddis are another group who belong to this state and they live in Chamba and Kangra valley. Kinnars are settled in the frontier district of Kannauр in Himachal Pradesh. The Pangwals are the aboriginals of the Pangi region of the Chamba district in Himachal Pradesh. Friends, I would also like to explain you that some modern anthropologists and nationalist anthropologists, they don't feel that the use of the word tribal or aboriginal is a culturally correct nomenclature. So sometimes we call them the original people of Kinnaur or original people of sub-Himalayan region. The Lahulis inhabit the Lahul Spiti region of Himachal Pradesh. It is another very significant tribe of this region. In Jammu and Kashmir, we also have a number of tribal groups, especially in the region of Ladakh. In modern Uttar Pradesh, there are scheduled areas which are hilly areas, or we also call the Tarai area. The hill zone is represented by Jaunsari, Bhotia and Raji tribes. Bhotias are a late introduction in the scheduled tribes following the setback they suffered after Indo-China War in 1962. The eastern and northern parts of Tarai Bhabar tract are inhabited by the Tharu group and Baksa tribes. Friends, in central India, we have major areas where you can find people having distinct tribal cultural traits. For example, in the Chotanagpur Plateau, along the dividing line between peninsular India and Indo-Gangetic Basin, there live many tribal communities like Bhumij, Gond, Ho, Oraon, Munda, Santhal, Bhils, etc. These tribes in Indian history are known for many decisive and heroic battles. They belong to Proto-Australoid group. This group occupies the mountain belt between Narmada and Godavari rivers, that the central barrier. They form a central barrier that divides the north from peninsular India and has provided a shelter for those tribes from very ancient times. It includes West Bengal, southern Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha and Maharashtra. This region further extends to the Santhal Pargana region of Jharkhand, Hyderabad of region of Telangana. There are tribals also in Rajasthan and Gujarat, where we find a community named Bhil. This is a culturally and demographically very significant tribal group. In Jharkhand, Oraon, Munda, Chero, they are the important and dominant socio-cultural groups that they live there since time immemorial. Banjaras, Moghias and Sathias are important tribes of Rajasthan region. They mostly inhabit the Thar desert. Bhil is the most important tribe in Gujarat. Anal, Chirand, Konkans are important tribes inhabiting Maharashtra. The important tribes of Madhya Pradesh include Muryas, Dorkland, Meals. The word Murya is used in Bastar for a tribesman. Muryas reside in the Murya Hills and Abusmad Mountains. Dorla is a tribe of South Bastar in Madhya Pradesh. The word Dorla appears to have been derived from the Telugu word Dora, meaning Lord. The Koitars or the Doris who reside in South Bastar are very much influenced by Telugu Khozas of Godavari area, who are generally considered to be a sub-tribe of Gond. Mala and Savra tribes inhabited West Bengal. In Odisha, out of the 62 scheduled tribes, Bhuya, Baiga, Dharua, Garo, Ho, Koli, Lodha, etc. are very important social cultural groups. The Baga appeared to be a branch of the great Bhuya tribe of Madhya Pradesh. Baga means a medicine man. The name Baga also appears to anyone who served as a village priest in central provinces. In southeast western India also we have different kinds of tribal groups like Kadars, Ketas, Kurumbas, Zedas, etc. These groups they are chiefly found in southernmost part of western Ghat. From the fact that they occupied the marginal area and also formed the record in the oldest Tamil literature of the Sangam period, they appear to be one of the most ancient and primitive inhabitants of present day India. Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu fall within this zone. Chenchus and Lambadi are important tribes of Andhra Pradesh. The Koragas are important in Karnataka and Kerala states. In Karnataka, Kuruba is another important tribe. We have a great number of scattered tribes, as I have earlier talked that we have some Negrito group of tribes which are found in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Friends, we have discussed in this particular lecture about the different tribal zones of our country. I have explained that the large part of Indian geography is known for different groups of tribals. The government of India had made specific provisions in constitution for conserving, preserving and promoting their culture. We have to understand that the demography and the cultural life of tribal people occupy great significance in the history of India. We have elaborately discussed the homeland of Indian tribes, the geographical extent that they have covered up and the present day understanding of their geocultural identity in this lecture. Thank you very much.